Hello, beautiful people. It is tea and tarot time again with Julie. This is for everybody. It's for when you find it. It's for the collective. And we are going to be looking at something a little different today because we are approaching the end of a 9-year cycle. This is numerology. And what happens with numerology is that we go in 9-year cycles and then we start again at the number 1. There isn't a 10. We go straight to a 1. With numerology, you always reduce the numbers down to a single digit. So 2025 is a 9-year. And then as we move into 2026 and a 1 year of new beginnings, that 9-year is what we're finishing off. And as we're coming into the last few weeks now, when I was tuning in this morning, talking to my spiritual team, what do you want me to tell the collective this week? It's let's have a chat about the 9-year and then let's look at the tarot to see what you are closing out. So let me just tell you a little bit about this, all right? But before I do, grab yourself a cup of tea. It's tea and tarot time with Julie. I got half a cup of tea here. You do you. You get whatever you want to get. Get your feet up, put yourself comfy, and let's have a little look at this whole thing about a 9-year. We've just got a few weeks left, haven't we? So let me explain what a 9-year is. So in numerology, and I'm taking this from Google, okay, but I know a little bit about it, but I want to just expand. So in 9-year is a year of a time of completion, closure, and spiritual reflection, ready to prepare for a new cycle. It's a period of tying up loose ends, letting go of the past, and embracing themes of universal love, forgiveness, and humanitarianism before we start a new 9-year cycle, a new journey. So this completion, it's a year to finish what you've started, settle old debts, resolve outstanding matters. So the last time we had a 9-year was 2016. So I want you to think back for a little minute. What was going on for you in 2016 and what began for you in 2017? Because that whole cycle, just spend a little minute reflecting, where was I at the end of 2016? And then what started to shift for me in 2017? If I look back for myself, massive shifts from 2017 through 18, 19, 20, up to where we are now. Huge in all aspects of my life. What about you? Where are you at as we come now to the end, the last few weeks, because we're coming into December, and wherever you find this message is right for you, because it's about a little prompt from Spirit to say, we need to let go of that before the end of the year. We need to just tie up those loose ends. So we've got this completion. Finish what you started, settle everything, let go of what no longer serves you to create space for those new opportunities. So that can include relationships, friendships, jobs, homes. What have you let go of? Where are you at as we come to the end of this year? And this reflection, it's a time for introspection, spiritual growth, and looking back on the past 9 years to understand the lessons learned. And I'm absolutely sure that almost all of you will have found huge spiritual growth over the last 9 years, and that you're ready to take that growth to the next level. So it's this transition, this final end. We're just in the last few weeks, so most of this will be done. Well, if you look back over this last year, most of us will have finished off a lot of stuff. And so what's left to do? We're just going to look with the tarot and just focus on what is the prioritization of projects and resolving things and resolving conflicts. What do we need to look at just for these last few weeks? Okay, so let's have a little look then. Let's bring the camera down and we're going to look at the tarot and say, for the collective, what are the last things remaining for us to close off, finish off? What do we need to let go of? Anything that we've missed that we need to kind of go, oh yeah, dot the I, cross the T, let's get that sorted out. Let's have a little look, yeah? I'm going to do 9 cards. So we've got the Emperor, the 10 of Wands, the 7 of Swords, the 9 of Coins, the 9 of Cups in the middle of the reading, the Queen of Coins, the 7 of Coins, the Six of Wands, and the Four of Coins. Okay, so this makes a lot of sense to me anyway, all right? And I hope it will make sense for you as well. So what have you been doing this year? It's a bit of a reflection, okay, on what have I been closing off and finishing off or building or sorting this year? And as I come into the last few weeks of it now, is there any part of this that I'm going to go through here that you think, oh, I could do with a little bit more tweaking on that one? Let's try and get that pinned down before the end of the year. So the center of your reading is the Nine of Cups, which is a beautiful card. This is influencing everything. So the Nine of Cups is our hopes, our wishes, our dreams, what we feel is going to fulfill us, enrich us, bring us into this space of, yes, that's what I want. So there's been a focus on goals, on dreams, on aspirations. And during this year, many of those wishes and dreams will have kind of come to the forefront for you to either try and bring into reality, to go from the hope into the have it, or to say, I don't think I do want that, and to let it go. So, of course, wishes and dreams, they change, don't they? What we wanted before, we don't necessarily want now. So the focus has been on creating that dream. Now, it's influencing everything. So I want you to ask yourself those questions, sometimes hard questions. Have I achieved any of those goals, any of those dreams? We don't have to do them all, but did we get one, two? Did we get a couple? Let me know in the comments below. So we've also been focusing on our power. We've got the Emperor here, which is all about empowerment, mastery, saying, this is my life. I'm the director of my life. So many times we give our power away to other people, to our relationships, to our families, to our jobs, to our communities. This has been a year the 9-year cycle of you moving more and more into your power. So where is your power now compared with where it was in 2016? And as we came into 2017 with that 1 year, has your power grown? Yourself, your personal power, your sense of empowerment. If you were to look back now and say, where was I at the beginning of 2017 in a 1 year? You were focusing on growing your power. And most of you will find, if not all of you will, then my spirit team are saying all of you, your power will have come up, increased your sense of self. Now within that, we've also got the Nine of Coins with the Seven of Coins. You've been building here, building and growing. The Seven of Coins is the crafter. I put the work in, I've sown the seeds, I've nurtured them, and you've been nurturing your wishes, your dreams, and your power from a place with that Nine of Coins of independence. Because again, when we don't have that power, we're waiting for somebody else to bring it to us, because I can't do it, you've got to do it for me. Whether that's been handing it over to spirit, my spiritual team will sort it, my angels will sort it, God will sort it. And yes, they help you, they support you, but only you can step into that sense of, I'll sort it with their help. That's a very different energy from wait for them to do it for me, because they won't and they can't. It has to come from you, and then the universe meets you halfway. So the Nine of Coins is financial independence, but it's far more than that. It's a sense of, this is my life under the Emperor here. I can do it. I'll find a way. I might not have mastered everything at this point, but I've done a lot. So that Nine of Coins is a fiercely independent energy. So over that last 9-year cycle, you've been working on releasing codependency, helplessness, hopelessness, bringing it into I can do it. And so I want you to ask yourself with these 3 cards here, have I achieved that? Now, we don't have to have got to 100%, but is it better than it was when I began this cycle in January 2017? And if it is, pat yourself on the back. And then say to yourself, can I take it to the next level again? Can I go up another rung over the next 9-year cycle? Can I become even more empowered and independent and being able to meet my own needs, because you are whole and complete in who you are, So am I meeting all my needs? Can I do it? Now, in this middle row here, with the 10 of Wands and the 6 of Wands, the 10 of Wands is a card of burden and struggle and difficulty. Basically, so many of us for so long lived a life of struggle. Life is hard, life is complicated, nothing's easy, it's always difficult, challenging, all the rest of it. Now, yes, we do, of course, have challenges along the way. They grow us, they strengthen our resilience. But a lot of the time, we're living unnecessary struggle. We don't need it to be that hard, but our belief systems held us back. Our belief system says, well, I can't let go of that, I have to do that. But when we're in the power, we say, actually, I don't. I can say no. I can focus on moving my life more into ease. Now, as we look at that, you'll have heard me, those of you who've been following me a long time, one of the affirmations in my deck is my life gets easier and easier every day in every way. That was a mantra I created around about 2017, 2018, and it took a while, but gradually, year on year, my life did get easier and easier as I released the belief that life is a struggle. I just started shifting it over into my life gets easier and easier. It wasn't my life's now easy, but it's easier. I'm releasing that struggle. So the 10 of Wands is just that. It is the release of that struggle. So have you let go of things that were really hard, or are you finding your life is harder now than it was? And if it is, what can you do about it? I want you to bring yourself back into that 9 of Cups. How can I create a life for myself that is fulfilling, enriching, happy? Because we have the 6 of Wands here underneath. Now, this is a card of recognition, of being seen, of knowing your worth and your value, of success, of victory. It's hard-won victory. Yeah, mostly we don't get there, without some struggle. And there's the struggle. It's been struggle, but I focused on what I wanted to create for myself that was fulfilling and happy. And I have achieved it. So here, they're just saying to me, Spirit saying to me here, that 6 of Wands, you may not be exactly where you want to be with that wish, but I want you to recognize where you are and how far you've come. It's a really important time. This 9 year isn't just about, closing off, dotting the I's and it's reflection. It's recognizing your growth, your expansion, how far you've come from a place of appreciation and love. It's also a year of kind of the forgiveness side, wrapping up resentments and choosing to allow yourself to let these things go, move on, move past them, to free yourself from unforgiveness. Now, part of that is to recognize, we do recognize the failures, don't we? You shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have done that. But do we recognize the successes and the victories? Do we recognize how far we've come? It's really strong energy coming through here about this 6 of Wands, because so many people say, well, I'm not there yet. And always this frustration with yourself. We're in a 9 year. I want you to recognize how far you've come from the beginning of 2017. I want you to see your victories, see your wins. They may not all be wins, but recognize the ones that are wins, because this is a victory energy. And that we are closing out this 9 years. Huge shift over the last 9 years. Massive. So now we're moving into a different space. What else do we need to focus on to finish off and complete? Now, coming back to this forgiveness, we've got the 7 of Swords here. And this is where I want to really tap into, is there anything or anyone that I need to let go of, complete, finish off before the end of the year that has hurt me, betrayed me, lied to me, let me down? Because most of us have had some of that, yeah? And sometimes, but rarely, it's an intentional lie. Usually it's the intention was there to do their best and then they couldn't. Promised you a pay rise, sorry, the money isn't there. Promised you a promotion, sorry, we can't do that either. Sometimes these things that let us down, that trigger within us. You lied to me, I hate you, and all of this resentment. This is perfectly natural, but can we reflect and say, okay, what have I learned from it? What have I grown from it? What am I going to do about it? If I wanted that thing that it didn't come, can I find it in a different direction? Or am I going to sit helpless and angry because you lied and you let me down? So is there anything, asking yourself now, is there anything that you are holding resentment of or for over the last 9 years? What can you do to let it go, to finish it off? Just choose it. It doesn't have to be hard work. You can simply say to yourself, I'm going into 2026 of 1 year, having released all of that. I forgive the past and everybody involved, including myself, because gosh, don't we judge ourselves harshly? Let it go and forgive. Now, we've got the Queen of Coins and the Four of Coins that we also want to have a look at. So the Queen of Coins is affluent, she is rich, she is successful, she is financially secure, but she's also very grounded, very earthly. This is talking about your day-to-day materialism. Now, that doesn't mean you're materialistic, but we like nice things. We want to make sure that we've got a roof over our head. We want to make sure that our basic needs are met, and hers are. She's also very intuitive, so she feels into the earth. She's earth energy. She's looking at the foundations and how solid they are. And she's checking in with that Four of Coins. Is there enough? So we don't want to be stupid with our money and wasteful, but at the same time, we also don't want to be miserly and holding on too tightly. And especially over the last few years, the last 5 years particularly, where so many prices of everything have gone up so much and wages and salaries haven't necessarily kept up, that we can get into fear and then we start to hold on really tightly. So I want you to really look at, where am I now compared with where I was in terms of my money, my security? That's what it underlines, is the security. Do I feel safe and secure? Do I feel that my feet are on the ground? Do I feel that there is enough? Have I been lying to myself, kidding myself, waiting on a job, promising promotions and better money for the last 9 years and it never came? Can I either choose to move on then to something else that it might come, or can I choose to let that go and say, I'm content with what I have? Only you will know the answers. But this is a time now, over the last few weeks of December, that we are saying to ourselves, look how far I've come. What do I need to let go of? What do I need to wrap up? What do I need to forgive? And who do I need to forgive? Am I ready to step into 2026 and a brand new year with a whole fresh perspective, having looked at how far I've come and be so proud of myself for what I have achieved? Because that is where we want to be as we step into 2026. So let's finish this off with some angel and unicorn cards. And next week I will be looking at the 1 year and what you're beginning. Okay. All right, so what do you want to add, my beautiful angels? What do you want to add? Moving towards the light, higher consciousness. We have 4, do we? Okay. Liberation and strength. So your angels are saying this is what the collective has been focusing on during this 9-year cycle. You've been moving more and more towards the light, towards the positivity. 32 is a 5. 5s are about change, and sometimes that change is uncomfortable. But as I said earlier, most of you have, or well, they've corrected me, all of you, they're saying, have increased your light, have increased your spiritual awareness, have increased your connection with your own inner soul and inner light. All of you have been changing and growing as you move towards the light, which is getting brighter and brighter all the time. All of you have been stepping into a higher level of consciousness. And number 1 here, which is the leader, the new 1 year, you've been moving towards the I am, that's the one, right? That's why I and one look exactly the same. Moving into a space of me, I, and the I am, the divine source within you, the higher consciousness, the higher self, the spiritual connection, to realize that there's far more to this world and life than just me in this little human body, that I am soul, that I am consciousness, that I am divine, that I am light and love and truth and essence of purity, pure divinity. So your higher consciousness has been growing and growing. This isn't closing out in 2026. It goes to the next level. You've also been looking at liberation, freeing yourself from the restrictions, from the old ways, from the old outdated stuff, from old patterns, old thoughts. The liberation is from the darkness within that disempowered, that created fear. That liberation, I'm listening to channeling and just listening to what they're saying. The liberation for you all has been to move you into your higher consciousness that has been held down for so many, for so long. That moving into the heart center, moving life into more of a place of love and truth, is continuing to expand and continuing to grow within each and every one of you. So continue to work towards liberating yourself from all that is not love, to align with who you truly are, which is love. And within that, step into your strength. The strength of truth, the strength of the divine, the strength of your pure essence. You are powerful. You are strong. So know it, feel it, and embrace it. Let's have a unicorn card to finish off. These are high vibrational messages. What do you have for the collective as we close out this 9 year, please? What do you have as we close out this 9 years? Uncord relationships. Let go now. Forgiveness is freedom. Now this is what we've been saying with the tarot as well. Let go. So the 9 year is what do I need to let go of? And that forgiveness that we discussed earlier is a huge part of that. Now this is a number 4, and 4s are about your foundation. And that unicorn energy is pointing to her heart and her thymus, these upper chakras here. Uncord relationships. Let's just discuss that for a moment. Over the last 9 years, you will have been working on that. So I want you to just ask yourself, am I corded? Am I tied to relationships around me? Because if I am, I need to I choose to free myself, liberate myself from those cords. You see, all relationships are based on love and truth, and they grow us and they expand us within those areas. But real love and real truth doesn't cord, doesn't chain, doesn't bind. It is free. It is free flowing. We're there because we choose to be, because we want to be. And choice is empowering. So when we are corded, we have no choice. We are disempowered. We are chained. We are restricted. And so in that energy, it's difficult for love to be present. It might be there under the surface, or it might be not there at all, an absence of love. And we're only there because of the chains that bind me. That isn't love. That's need. That's fear. And so as we finish off this 9 year cycle, whether this has been this year or in 2017, the beginning of this 9 year cycle, I want you to look at any relationships that you've uncorded yourself from, and that includes your husband, wife, parents, children. We are not corded to them. We shouldn't be, not energetically. It's love is free flowing. So who have you let go of in terms of the cords? They might still be in your life, but now it's free flowing, or they might have gone out of your life. Who and what have you let go of? And who or what are you still corded to that doesn't serve you? Release the cords and understand that love is free and you are free because you are love. All right. All right, my beautiful people, some lovely channeled messages coming through there from Spirit. So take what resonates, leave the rest. I hope this was helpful. And I'll be back next week and we're going to be looking at what are you beginning in 2026. Now, also next week is the beginnings of your 2026 individual readings for the year. But this will be for a collective that based on the 1 year. So I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.